so this is how you get logged in to take tests on Think Central.
So to make a class, you're going to go to Manage Classes, and you'll go down to the bottom and add a class. There might already be a class in there, but if you want to add your own, you can add your own class. You just give it a name. So I would call it Green 1, just to select your grade, kindergarten, and then you can assign students. So this will show all of the kindergartners, so you can either just search for your kids, or like you can go through and find, let's see.
Do you want to just like pick 5?
Sure, yeah, I'm trying to see, I don't know why none of mine are even here, but, so yeah, you would pick your kids and add. You can pick multiple at one time by hitting Command, and it will let you select multiple, and then you can just add those ones, and then you are done. You just done. And then you have a class. So then if you want to assign that class a assignment, you're gonna go back to your Think Central page. To do assignments, you go into Browse, you select your grade level, and then in Program Structure, it will break it down into the units. Say you're in Unit 1, say you're in Chapter 4, and you want to assign, if you want to assign a test, you just stay on the regular Chapter 4 test page, and you can go, you want to assign the review test, because that's going to give you, you want to do the PMTs, that's the personal math trainers. Those are the ones that the site will score for you, so you can assign those. You just hit assign. If you want to assign a lesson, you click on whatever lesson it is. So say you're on lesson 3, you go into lesson 3 and lesson level resources, and you want to assign the ISE. ISE is in Interactive Student Edition. Okay, it's different than the Student Edition, the book. That's just going to be the picture of the page. This is actually interactive. Go to assign, give it a name. What's this? Let's say example. And then
in the student instructions, it's always just do.
Yeah, I always just leave it as that. And then you're going to go to your class. So, I don't know why that class didn't show up in here.
That was kind of the problem we had.
So I think possibly it's
you have to go in and out.
Well, I think possibly what may have happened is that,
well, mine right away didn't show, but then today it does. So I don't know if.
So maybe it's not through. It might be also that those kids are not necessarily kindergartners. That I put in.
Okay.
So, but if your class should show up in here, and you can go in and you can give them, I'm going to put it in last year's because, so this is a class that I had from last year, so I would give them these assignments, and then I can add all,
Okay.
or if you just want like 2 or 3 kids to take it, then you just add those specific kids.
Okay.
You can assign, you can give the date that it's available. So maybe you don't want it available for like a couple days. Sometimes I'll do that if I have a sub or something. And then you can assign, you can change the date that it's due.
And you can still get the results even though it's not, there's still
Yes.
an open window.
I always change this to 70%, but you can do however you want to do it.
Okay.
That's passing, and then you just save it. I'm not going to save this because I think those kids will get assignment.
Do you
just save it.
Do you want to show how you get the results?
So yeah, so if you're on this page to look and see what kids scored, you're going to go to your Manage Classes again. You're going to go up into Assignments, and then you can search all of your assignments. So this is my current class. So this is
Wow.
all of my assignments that I have currently. There's 3 pages. If I want to look at just a specific kid, I
Oh.
can search like one kid specifically,
Okay.
and then I can just look at all of their assignments. If I want to look at, like today, they did their chapter 9 test. So I want to look at those scores. So I'm going to go to the 9 test, and then I can look at results. So it is not totally due yet. You can see that only 14 of my 20 students have completed it.
Got it.
So it's still in progress. If it's completed, it'll say completed. If it's closed, so like this one says completed, although it's not, you can see there's only 19 kids that finished it because it closed.
Okay.
So I can reopen this one.
Oh,
Which I'm
okay.
gonna do that because I'm gonna reopen that. So that is now reopened. I have to go back to that page, but so for anybody who didn't finish that, that is now reopened so they can finish that. So I'm actually gonna reopen a couple of these because
And then I noticed on the dashboard it has like reports, and it shows
yes. So here, you can look at this. We'll look at this first. So this is how I can look at the results from today, from the test today. So I can see that all of these students passed, and this student did not master. They got a 42%. So I can look. It gives the percentage. If you click on their test, it'll show you exactly which numbers they got incorrect.
you. Okay.
If
So you
some of
see
these
trends.
is like 2 out of 2, so sometimes it'll show they got 1 out of 2 and it'll be yellow. So like up here it gives you a little key. That would be partially correct.
Oh, okay.
So it will count that if it's like a 2-part question. Let's look at this one. So this student probably just did not do these.
Okay. And he turned in his test.
Probably turned it in without having completed it. Usually I've noticed that if they have like, you can see like at the beginning he was getting them all correct, and then all of a sudden he's getting them
lost
all
his steam.
incorrect. So a lot of times what I see is that they turn them in without completing them. There is a way to do reports. I am not as savvy with that, but you can go in here, and basically what you do is you fill out all of this. So like I want to look at assessments. I would do current year, I guess. Kindergarten. We'll do math. I can apply that. So I can go in here and look at all of
Like a
their
specific
tests, I
test?
guess.
Oh.
I don't know totally how to use this.
Do the generate. Let's see what it does.
So this was
Oh, just that test.
just that test, yeah.
Okay. I wonder if you did all of them, like if it would sit there and like do the different strands.
And do view by
View by standard.
standard.
Okay.
So yeah. So you can generate reports. I haven't played around with that a lot, so I'm not like 100% how to do that. But yeah, that's usually pretty. For assignments, there are other things you can assign to, I believe. So let's look here. Actually, let me go in, because maybe I can figure out how to do this. We are starting our new chapter tomorrow. So
Chapter 10.
Yeah, chapter 10. So you can do the interactive student edition, but you can also just do the personal math trainer, and I'll show you what that looks like too. So this is what gets scored. So this is what their tests and their personal math trainers look like.
Okay.
when they do them, so they can listen to it. So this, if they click on this, it'll read it.
Choose the object on the shelf that is shaped like a cylinder.
So I'll read it aloud to them, and then even the answers, if the answers have sound, they can listen to what the answers are too.
Okay.
They only get a couple times, so if they're just guessing, they'll get them incorrect. It only gives them like 2 times to
Okay.
answer it, and it'll tell them they're out of it. The only difference here is the one thing that they need to be taught explicitly is that when they get to the end, there is, on the side here, there are 2 green buttons, and the top green button is turn it in. If they
Okay.
don't turn it in, it does not score it.
Okay.
So
it
it'll
scores
show up, it'll
even
show
though
up
this
as
is just
it's
a homework.
incomplete.
Or the trainer even
Yes.
scores it.
It'll show up that it's incomplete if they haven't turned it in. So,
All right. Well, thank you.